likes and dislikes. Do you like me? Do you dislike me? It doesn't actually matter whether somebody likes or dislikes your video. Now, it sounds silly, but in terms from YouTube's point of view, if lots of people dislike it, they are at least watching it and engaging with it in the jargon. They're taking some notice of it. And the very fact that somebody's actually gone to the trouble of pressing the thumbs down can, in a way, work in your favour. Obviously, you have 1,000 views and every view lasts 5 seconds and 999 dislikes. It might be a point that perhaps the film isn't very good. But dislikes means generally, particularly if you're doing factual or comedy films, it means that people they didn't like the facts, or they didn't like the comedy, or whatever. So don't worry too much about it, but obviously if you're getting a lot of dislikes and people aren't watching your films for very long, then perhaps you're in the wrong business. Let's have a look at this to give you some idea of how that works. Here's my likes, and I'm going to, if I can, put the dislikes on there as well. Take a few seconds. So again, our old friends, the blue and red lines there, and some meeting points there. Generally speaking, my likes are higher than my dislikes. Not always, you get odd days that are different, but generally speaking it's above. But at least people are engaging, and we can see here the total number of likes and total engagement. So on that particular film, for this period, this particular one, 452 people liked it, 160 didn't, and I've got a lot of engagement there. I'm just going to click this question mark here to show you that total engagement, so this long green graph at the end, is the sum of all likes, dislikes, favourites, added and removed, shares, comments and subscribing and unsubscribing for that video. So the green line here says how many people engaged with it. The fact that it's shown green gives us a good clue that YouTube are pretty happy if you've got lots of subscribes, lots of unsubscribes, people are talking about it, they're liking, disliking and so on. It gives you some idea what's going on. What we can do though is we can actually change this graph and see how many likes were added during that period. Again, take a few seconds to come up, and we can look at dislikes added. Just wait for a second there, and you can see pretty constant on my thing. For most people's videos, I mean, most people, in fairness, for most videos don't bother to click like. One thing that I want to experiment with, and I'll report back on this in a future video, is actually asking people to press the thumbs up. I see lots of people do that. I've no data at the moment for certain that works, so I'm not going to suggest you do it at the moment. By all means, experiment with it, but I'll experiment with that over the coming weeks and months and see how that works. But giving people a thumbs up, asking people for a thumbs up rather, may well work. I just don't know that it does. But it's all about engagement with YouTube. You need to get those retention times, as we've discussed, up. But the more engagements that people do, obviously works enormously. And, they wouldn't give us all this information over here that we can look at unless it was relevant. There's no point in it being there. And we know that YouTube uses this to decide whether to promote your video, whether to put it on this crucial right-hand side amongst other videos, whether to advertise it, publish it, promote it on the front page of YouTube for relevant searches and so on. And obviously, even when you search in YouTube, you want your videos to be as high as possible. Okay. So, likes and dislikes, quite important. You get a lot of data there. You can break it down as ever by what you want, and you can see some astonishing figures in my case there.